So once again,
attention in the terminal paging Southwest.
They did it again. Once again, we wake up early in the morning for a flight just in time to get a notification that, you know, it's canceled. Who really needs to go on a vacation anyways? There's a lot of traditions about this vacation that I love, but this is one that I hope doesn't stay a tradition and that I hate. But a little bit of frantic rescheduling and a, thanks, Dad. Appreciate that one. But a little bit of frantic rescheduling, and we have a 5-hour wait to a rescheduled flight.
Brian Eugene Williams. We need you on board immediately. Take on our
You got my name wrong. And they canceled another flight. Alright, it's been 13 hours? 13 hours? No. Okay, it's been 12 hours since I woke up. We're still in St. Louis. I'm done with this. We're rebooked to LaGuardia. Next time you see us, we're in LaGuardia. I'm done. LaGuardia. Ocean Grove. I'm going to bed. Here's the thing about this year's video. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't there for me this year. Maybe it was the Southwest thing getting all screwed up again with the cancellations on the way out. Maybe it was just because it wasn't the same crew as always. Maybe it was because, I don't know, there was something that was not working for me.
Who wants her first?
I'll take it.
Sorry, he's blood.
Such a good girl.
She'll love you.
Yes, you are.
Even though there was a hierarchy.
Look at those baby blues.
Close enough.
My goodness gracious, they're so
That
big.
hair in your nose.
I'm a bit chunky.
I know, I love
like
your
food.
I love your chunkiness. Yes, I do. Your sister, she was a nice chunky monkey,
nice.
just like you.
Keep it over there.
Yeah, just like you. Nice chunky monkey.
Yeah?
She's not afraid of your beard at all.
Not
She's afraid of
yet.
your scruff.
I know. All the rest of them were. That's right. I forgot about that.
She said, I don't care.
Well, you will definitely
What?
make up your own mind. And yes, he's a big jerk. Yes. Yeah, yes. You got such a great smile. Yes, you do.
I like to share it.
Put him on the wrong foot.
I thought they got you those special stocks that they got for your dad. That tells you left and right. You don't have them?
There you go.
Hi. Hi, camera people.
Yeah, I'm
Oh, hi. Say bye.
I think she's a little related to the dog.
Day one. It was a lazy day. We kind of just hung out at the house and did whatever, and then eating with friends and family. And now summer's got me down at the beach. So here we are doing our thing. Nighttime. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, I have to interrupt. Let me change topics for a minute. It'll make sense, I promise. So 10 years ago as I record this, inevitability tore my family from our status quo. The sudden passing of my grandmother, May Hill. A very few weeks later, we were hit again when Grandpa, Les Hill, would follow May into his final rest. It was a sucker punch to our family's collective psyche, and it's a hurt that still is felt to this day. But it gave us an opportunity to refocus. Monday morning, we are walking to the beach to see what the conditions are. We may not be swimming today. Apparently that's what red flag conditions look like. Oh well.
Baby, I'm a big girl now. Bet y'all run this. Hey, you asked for it.
You see, prior to 2008, as far as I could tell, our extended family was familiar and polite, but what kept us connected and in contact was May and Les. Now, forgive me if my perspective from the time was skewed, but what I saw at that point was sibling disagreements, lifestyle differences, and geographic distances quietly being perfectly acceptable excuses for emotional separation, sprinkled with polite and occasionally overlapping visits at Grandma and Grandpa's house. It wasn't like anyone disliked each other or avoided each other, but time and distance between interactions, they just weren't a big deal. Yeah, okay, we were gonna go swimming.
The sunlight in the west. Crazy.
Yeah, so it stopped raining now.
Look at you found. Oh, that's really good. Look how many mussels I found.
Hold it up close. Oh, look at that. Hi, big guy. It's crazy.
Don't smush him. He's my sand crab.
Future croc hunter.
This water's so
It's in the genes.
With the deaths of our matriarch and our patriarch, there came funerals and final arrangements. Stuff that required weeks of the extended family coming together in concentrated doses and spending time for possibly the first time in years. It was exactly what was needed. Family bonds were strengthened, grievances forgiven, and relationships rediscovered. It could almost be considered a final gift for all of us. The ongoing legacy of May and Les Hill.
Right around the sidewalk and inside door.
Time to go to the Asbury Park garden. We're walking.
Just a pretty sunflower.
Okay, great.
Take a picture by it.
Nice to see everybody all day. She says I'm pretty, Brian.
Lies.
She lies. You're breaking my heart. So you see the house with the yellow.
Wow, yeah.
That was.
Oh, right there. Firehouse.
Firehouse?
Okay, not firehouse like firehouse where
firehouse like
places
firehouse, like
leave.
firehouse.
Yeah, but exactly.
burn.
Yes. Not firehouse. Firehouse. Travel is a journey, folks.
Hey.
I don't know if you know it or not, but I'm adorable. I'm lovely and adorable.
So pretty. Careful the pole.
Oh, my wrist, you hurt me.
Are you old?
No, not that big.
Summer, you should see stuff in the morning.
No.
Hey now.
Do you want
What does
water?
she look like?
A completely different person.
Do you want this water?
What does she look like?
Completely different person.
Does she look like this?
Not even close. Keep going.
Like that?
Look like Kate.
Nope, keep going.
So like this?
No, not quite.
This is just a mess.
She's got like 30
Family bonds were strengthened and relationships rediscovered. But time inevitably distanced us from those moments. Geographic distances, work schedules, and the more present demands of life again quietly became perfectly acceptable excuses for not having the time to spend together. It wasn't any one person's fault, and it wasn't a rebirth of old separations. Just, despite everyone's best hopes, stuff just got in the way. I mean, as it will. And with separation comes the inevitability of forgetting. Just like youth slowly gives way to maturity and a youth's familiar is one day rediscovered as nostalgia, so too were our family's connections becoming something which, without some intentionality, could eventually be forgotten. So, in 2011, with devoted intentionality, a new tradition was born. One through which our family committed to a week spent together reminding ourselves of the things which time may have taken from memory, reconnecting to the bonds of family, and honoring that legacy and memory of May and Les Hill. Each year we would gather to relive memories, create new ones, and it would start where it began, on the New Jersey shore. Over the years, we've had some weeks with the whole family together, and some weeks where absences were keenly felt. Since that first year, new family have joined us in this tradition, while others have become memories shared in conversation. The one constant thing for each of us is that since that first year, perceptions and feelings about this week have changed. Thinking about this year's video, there was something that was not working for me.
Is that thing even on?
Mm-hmm. It's on. So, yeah, I mean, this week has felt strange, and I guess it was because people were missing, or maybe it's just the way personalities rub against each other sometimes. Maybe something about this vacation has become more routine and less novel. I don't know. With each passing year, the newness of our tradition has given way to changes, and the original intent has grown more clouded. I mean, it's what time and distance will cause memories to do. The new and exciting of these chapters, it's quietly cooled into familiar and even predictable routines. The shine, it's begun to dull, and the inevitability of time, it's again started to distance us through the all too normal disagreements, lifestyle incongruencies, and just this friction from varied perspectives. But still, the tradition goes on. We're going back to the beach. Come on. It's a little breezy today. Sand crabs. All sand crabs.
Can I help you?
Hi.
Hi. Hi. I'm fine. Hi.
It's louder than right here.
Yep.
So pretty.
Fabulous. How's it look?
Marvelous.
Oh, show me how to get to it.
He's looking for the fab word.
What's that?
What's what?
What's that?
What's this?
What's it?
What does it look like?
What's it?
What do you think it is?
What's it?
Thank you.
Take a guess. What is it?
Wow.
You think so? What? Time for ice cream. If I'm gonna be really honest, our routines together might be quietly becoming perfectly acceptable excuses for mutually agreed upon emotional separation, sprinkled with those occasionally overlapping visits. And saying that out loud, it sucks. But I know that with intentionality, it's not the end of the story. Maybe something about this vacation has become more routine. I don't know. And so here we have it, and I really hope that this thing has turned into something good, and that it speaks to you, or that it touches you, or that it matters to you, or that at least it's something that catches the essence of this year, even though it was kind of an off year, and maybe tells the story of this year to everybody that wasn't here. So if you weren't here, we missed you. We missed you a lot. It's just not the same without you here. So here's hoping that this year everybody's back together, and here's hoping that this year the memories and the smiles and the warmness in the family is all there in the same room. And here's hoping that this odd feeling is just the absence being palpable, because this place matters to me, and it matters to me in a deep way, but not because of the location. It matters because of you guys. And when you're not here, this place doesn't feel as special. We missed you, and I can't wait to make some more memories with you guys. This year, I'm coming to New Jersey with a personal goal. I want to refocus. I'm going to recommit to the reason that we all started going on this journey with one another. The reason it started in the first place. There's an amazing truth about this week, which over time has become routine and easily overlooked. A profoundly simple, but all too rare truth makes this time truly special. For a week in these halls, on this beach, in this garden, a precious few moments which may never again be repeated, we were here. We were all together. As Uncle Jim once quoted, "The clock of life is wound but once, and no man has the power to tell just when the clock will stop at late or early hour. You only have one chance, so live, love, toil with a will. Place no faith in the clock. For tomorrow, it may be still." We aren't on these shores or in these groves for a vacation. Well, at least not only for that. We come to these places and we create these memories because we love and were loved by May and Les Hill. We exist because of their love, and we gather because without love, nothing that we know, nothing that we are, and nothing that we have surrounding us now would have ever existed. So this time, in 2018, I want to look past the stressors and the distractions, and I want to celebrate us. Let's use this time to remember how sometimes we forget the big stories, or the little details, or the love tied up in all of our mutual history, and that sometimes we need each other to be reminded of that. Let's spend this week invested in that love which made us and makes us who and what we are. Let's intentionally make this a week which commits us to the knowledge that no matter the distance, the differences, or what time may cause us to forget, we will always remember this love. A love from those who came before us and that will be instilled in those that will come alongside us and from us. All because, no matter how much at times we may get on each other's nerves, we value having one another and the legacy that binds us. Because hey, maybe it's just a Hill thing, but we're family and we matter to each other. And we were here.
Remember how we forgot? Remember how no one ever really died in the wars we fought? 'Cause each gunshot came from our fingertips, and we never really kept them loaded just in case. 'Cause each enemy was a friend, and none of it was about oil, religion, or land, it was all just pretend. Remember how we used to bend reality, like we were circus strongmen, like our imaginations were in shape then, like we were all ninjas trained in the deadly art of did not. Like I totally got you. Did not. Remember how we forgot? Remember how our parents told us never to look directly into the sun, and how we were their son, so we never looked directly into the mirror in fear that we would go blind? Remember how we used to find any old reason just to call someone we were crushing on? Like we could just pawn off our sense of embarrassment, buy a chunk of courage that would last just long enough to have us asking them about math and stuff, and how stuff was just stuff. Like I heard you're getting braces, now braces somehow were and still are kinda hot. Remember how we forgot? Remember how we all caught mono? And our folks would go, oh, the kissing disease. And our first steps into gangsterhood had us saying, mother please. Even though we'd never really kissed anyone, even though we never did half the things we said we'd done. We just spun yarns like Rumpelstiltskin spun gold. We told ghost stories, never realizing we would one day ourselves become ghosts, haunting the hallways of schools, breaking all the rules of silence in the library. But we had no chains to rattle, no voice to battle the fact that we had no vocal cords. We had only fingernails on chalkboards, and they would scream, shout, and yell, trying to tell ourselves what experience can teach is what no teacher taught. Remember how we forgot? Once upon a time we were young. Our dreams hung like apples, waiting to be picked and peeled, and hope was something needing to be reeled in so we could fill the always empty big fish bin of the one that got away, and proudly say that this time, impossible is not an option. Because success is so akin to effort and opportunity, they could be related. So we took chances, we figure skated on thin ice, believed that each slice of life was served with something sweet on the side, and failure was never nearly as important as the fact that we tried. That in the war against frailty and limitation, we supply the determination it takes to make ideas and goals the parents of possibility. And we believe ourselves to be members of this family, not just one branch on one tree, but a forest whose roots make up a dynasty. So when I call you sis or bro, it's not lightly. And when I ask you to remember, it's because the future isn't what it used to be. So remember now. Pay tribute to every sacrifice laid upon the altar of somehow, for all the times somehow we overcame, somehow we pushed on, somehow we've gone the distance, and in going there we possess the freedom to map the uncharted lands of any and everywhere. We are unbound, 6 feet above the underground where we will all one day rest. So until then, test the limits, test the boundaries and borders. As if the headquarters of potential lay just beyond the world's edge, let the belief that hope belongs to us all be the pledge you take to make the unachievable as inconceivable as the false fact that we were never here. We were here, and our memories are as dear to us as every slow motion moment to held breath. So remember every instant before death, every first kiss, first dance, near miss, last chance, yes, no, maybe so. Let us go the distance once more. Let us remember all the moments that were and were not. Like the point is something we can get, and what we can get is what we got. Because all we have are the times between the moments we connect each dot. So live and remember. Burn like an ember, capable of starting fires. Like each moment inspires the next. Like memories are the context we put ourselves in so that life becomes the next of kin we need to notify in case of a big bang or extinction level event. Let now be our advent. Let us live like we meant it. Let us burn like we mean it. Because this world doesn't give a shit if we end in a train wreck or a car crash. If our story ends with a dot or a dash, if we were dust or ash. Cause all we were is all we'll be, and all we are is the in-between of so far, so good. So forget every would, could, or should not. Forget remembering how we forgot. Live like a plot twist exists now and in memory, because we burned bright. Our light leaves scars on the sun. Let no one say we will be undone by time's passing. The memories we are amassing will stand as testament that somehow we bent minds around the concept that we see others within ourselves. That self-knowledge can be found on bookshelves. So who we are has no bearing on how we appear. Look directly in every mirror. Realize our reflection is the first sentence to a story. And our story starts. We were here.